your frame. Now, the key to taking the frame out is all of these three pieces are connected with wires, so be careful. Kind of take them all out at one time like this so you don't jerk the wires around. This string right here, it is there just to hold on a gasket and some bearings that will fall out if the string's not there. I'm going to go ahead, you're going to cut the string. Just know that when you pull it out, this little gasket's going to try to fall out, so keep it there with your thumb. The next thing you're going to want to do is leave the handlebars over to the side, and you're going to take the front fork and seat tube, or handlebar tube, and you're going to get it ready to push through. Now, first thing you want to do, and this requires the little Allen wrench. I'm just going to use my fingers to undo it. You're going to take off this little nut and piece right here. That actually will go on after we get the forks on. The next thing is you're going to slide you're going to pull off these three collars right here. I don't think it matters which way. Put the small one on the bottom, the big one in the middle, and the small one on top. Probably doesn't matter. And then slide, and you'll see that that's not uncommon. That'll fall out. This will fall out. This is your little bearing seat. And you can slide that back on. You're going to slide this back on, this piece back on. That'll seal your bearings up. Make sure that's seated good. And now you're going to slide on these little spacers. That's really all they are, I guess. And now basically you've got your front forks on the frame itself. Now the brake calipers up in the front, they actually go forward. Okay. The next thing you're going to want to do is put the handlebars on. So I'm going to go ahead and stand this up like this, and then I'm going to take and balance this between your legs, I guess, and then slide the handlebars on. Once that's on, you can then put the little cover and nut, bolt, whatever the heck it is. Screw that down. Make sure your bearings are seated. There, see it clicked into place. I moved the bearings a little bit and it clicked into place. I'm going to get the Allen wrench, which is over here, and I'm going to tighten this down a little bit. You're going to want to tighten it up completely. Get it pretty good and tight. You don't have to over tighten it, just tighten it hand tight. And the next thing you want to do is hold the forks with your feet and get the handlebar straight. And then you got two little Allen screws right here that you're going to also hand tighten. And then you'll want to just tighten them a little bit more. We won't do that right now. Because basically that was the hard part right there. That was one of the hard parts. Putting the back wheel on. It's a little bit tricky also. So we'll put the seat post is easy. It obviously just slides down in here to your desired height, and you have the quick release lever right there that'll tighten it. It does have a little bit of grease on the end. What you might do is make sure there's a little grease on the bottom and kind of rub it around the tube. And you might have to get some out of the bag also, and just kind of do that around it, just so there's grease there. The next thing we're going to do is the pedals are simple. Like I said, just put one on. It doesn't matter which way. It looks like maybe there's a reflector. One has, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You're going to just hold them right there, and like I said, you're going to screw them in the reverse direction, and that would be counterclockwise. And then once you get those pretty hand tight, you'll then use the wrench and tighten it up. Again, hand tight. You don't have to go too much on that. Now this is the only other difficult part. I have flattened the tires to wedge them between the two brake pads right here. It's the only way I can figure out how to do it. And this is a little tricky. Step over the bike like this. Put the wheel in like this, and then the key is to pull this down, and you're going to want to put this little hub right here into this slot right here between the low derailleur, the bottom derailleur. So what it's going to do is it's going to set on there like this. Just make sure. Come over here. Make sure you pull it down like that. Just make sure that this chain right here lays somewhere up in here. Doesn't matter where right now. Once you get wherever it's easiest to get on, and then once you get it actual wheel on, then you can change gears and rotate the cranks, and it'll shift to the correct gear. What you're going to want to you're going to have to then squeeze the tire up into between the brake calipers, and it sets in there like that. And then once you get the tire up and you kind of give it a tug up, the hub will seat into the frame quite nicely. And then you can move the chain to wherever the natural position is right now. Looks like it's right there, close enough. Okay, and then what you're going to do is this is another quick release and tightening hub. But in order to get the tire on and off the bike, you have to release, kind of unscrew this a little bit. Now you hand tighten this up, and it's going to start to pull the frame together. And now you're going to use the quick release to get it good and tight. So you tighten over here, and then you start to close this down, and it should be tight, and that's probably good enough. Now the next thing, you can crank this. You'll have to be sure that the front chain is on one of the front chain rings, and then you can turn that, and it'll shift it into the correct gear. Okay, and then I'm putting the pump in there, and you can air the pump up, or air the tires up. Same deal on the front tire. It's simple. All you're going to do is set it down. Again, squeeze it. Let it set down between the two brake pads here. Put it into the hub here, and then tighten it down same way. And that's pretty much it. Call me if you have any questions. Love ya. Bye. And we'll again squeeze the tire up through the brake pads. And there's probably an easier way to do this. There's probably a way that the brake pads will release. I just haven't taken time.
So you're showing him how to put it back on again?
Yeah, I'm putting it back on. Now the tire, once the tire goes through, it kind of falls into place. See how the hub is now just below the little seating here, the silver seating, and all you're going to do is now seat it like this, and it pretty much does it itself. As long as you start the hub inside the chain like I showed you, it seats itself, and then you just tighten it down, and then once you get it hand tied over here, you're going to tighten it over here on the left side, and just make sure it's good and tight. I mean, it doesn't have to be so tight that you break the hub. Just tight enough that it's not going to fall off when you're riding. And then you're going to air the tires up.